Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Let us start our lecture today. So, so the last class time was your test one, right? So how was the test one? Yeah, yeah, let us make this class interactive, and so everybody please you can keep your you can be unmuted. You can be unmuted today, okay? So how many people? So I see there are about 30 people today. So if you want to interact frequently and if you want to speak, then please keep yourself unmuted for today. Okay, so according to our schedule, so we will discuss repetition structure this week. So in our last lecture, actually before our test, so last week, right, a week ago we started repetition structure. Okay, one more thing that is that let me go to your D12. So in the D12 announcement, I see that about only 99 students they took part 2 and 103 students they took part 1. Okay, everybody was supposed to take both parts. Okay, I got email from a few students. A few students told me that, reported me that they did not know that there was a test schedule. Okay, so you know that I had been giving the announcement, this announcement since maybe early this month. Every day I was telling that there will be test, there will be test, there will be test, right? And there was an announcement on D2L and also on the schedule. It is reported from the very beginning that your test will be on this day. So, but still some students said they did not know that there was a test. So anyone here, can you please tell us what is the problem? What is my issue and my problem? What is my lack in communication and what I could do better in order to tell everybody that there was a test? Anyone want to say something?
I mean, besides make a announcement in D2L, I don't know. And I think he made an announcement, yes.
Did you see the announcement in D2L?
I did. I took the test. I'm just saying I don't know.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if you could have done much better.
Yeah.
So I
hello.
gave this announcement. Yes.
Hello, Professor. Just speaking about the test, but maybe for the part 2 on the coding section, maybe we should get a little bit more time because I feel like, yeah, we needed more time for that.
Yeah, that is another another issue that I will recommend our team to give more time in for part 2 in next test. Okay, that is good.
How much time do we have?
That was the second part was about 35 minutes. 35 minutes plus 5 minutes grace period. Then 40 minutes.
Test time.
But you see that I gave the test announcement like from early this month, since early this month. But still I got not a lot, only a few students. I got an email from a few students that they did not know that there was a test. Okay, that's
Oof.
okay. So let us go to our repetition structure, and before at the end of our last class, okay, now at the middle, maybe at the middle of our last class, we are discussing what are those scores? selection structure, and I gave you homework, right? Specifically, activities. Some activities we are working like this. Okay. To enter your credit score and to check whether your credit score is good, bad, or something. Okay. So I specifically gave these two activities, and then one you discuss this in our class time. So this one is pretty simple. Very simple with if, else, if, but this one is little bit critical. Okay. For instance, this one. Okay, I did have a correction. Actually, it would have not an invalid. Actually, very bad.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I was, on that second one in class, I was trying to do it in class. How are you supposed to do the less than whatever in a case switch? Because you can't do that in C#.
Okay, that's good. That is what we want to discuss today. Actually, the first one, this is why I was telling that the first one, it was simple, right? So it's a less than if, use if and else. So one thing that you need to reshuffle this one, this one, you need to put this one like at the end. So then less than 300, from 300 to less than 600, from 600 to less than 700, from 700 to less than 750, from 750 to less than or equal to 800. So this one, okay, you need to reshuffle. You need to put in sequence. For this one, okay, good. But this one, we are talking about switch case statement. Its implementation is little bit, it is tricky, but I think if you understood that temperature conversion, that problem, converting from if, else to switch, then you should be able to do it, but we'll discuss. One thing is that, yeah, go ahead.
The problem was that you can't use the less than or greater than signs in the language inside of a switch.
Yes, in the switch we cannot do that. But there is an alternative trick we need to do that. So the alternative trick is that when you will take your raw input, so like credit score, and then you will divide it by a number that will make your scale in a specific scale. For instance, what is that called? Level. For instance, when we get our temperature like 78 degree, right? We divided by 10, integer division by 10, so then we got 7, right? So then for 1 to 100 degree temperature, you had like 100 different scale, but when we divided by 10, then we got only 10 scale. Then for instance here, let us see, we need to think that the greatest, you understand the greatest common divisor. So we need to figure out a number that is common to this number, and preferably the greatest common divisor GCD should be used that to divide this number. For instance, 50 is a common number that all of these numbers are divisible by 50, right? All of these numbers are divisible by 50, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a trick. So for instance, I have added code for this, all in 3 languages. This is C#. Let us first go to C#. So first line is that there's a program I did it here. Okay, let us check the first program. This line number 6. This will give you just a reminder, right? And warning message, right? You will understand this one, right? Okay. The second one is to take an integer input. Take an integer input, right? So in order to take an integer input, we need to actually whatever you are taking over here by console.readline, you are taking as a string. Okay, string means 700. It can be a string, and 700 can be a number, right? So when you take, you remember that when you take our string input, we do not even enclose within double quote. Double quote is enclosed in the program automatically. Okay. So what we did, we converted the string into integer number. So this is the method by using this method. So then, for instance, we took the number 700, for instance, the raw score, raw credit score. Then if we divide it by 700 by 50, then we would get 14, right? That we can say 14 raw score, my rank, credit score rank or level. So now you can use, now you will have, so our maximum number was, credit score was 800, right? And minimum it could be 0, for instance, right? Minimum it could be 0 or 300, you can say less than 299 or something, whatever you say. But for instance, our maximum was 800. So here we can say if we have 800, if we could enter 800, then 800 divided by 50 equal to 16, right? Did you understand this? 800 divided by 50, 50, equal to 16, right? Are you hearing me from other side?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Please make this class interactive and speak. Okay. So 16. So in that case, if it is 16, then what will happen? And 15, for instance, is 750. If someone enters 750, then 750 divided by 50, 50 equal to 15. So in that case, either 16 or 15, we have good, excellent credit score. So then we have this common message for either for 16. Actually, this 16 we are getting this 16 for 800 credit score, and this 15 we are getting this any credit score between 750 to 800. So you understand this one?
Yeah, I understand now. Thank you.
Okay, then, okay, for instance, if your credit score is less than 700, for instance, 699 or something, okay, or between 650 to 700, less than 700. For instance, 699. Then what will be your integer division value? The rank will be 14, right? So let us do a calculator. Web calculator. Understand? So 699. I'm sorry. Okay, 699 divided by 50. You see 13 point something, right? So our integer division value is 13. So then in that case, if my case it goes 13, then I'm giving your credit score is good. And if it is 15, 12, that means it's less than 650, then your credit score is pretty good. After that, after less than say 600, so it can be for 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So less than 700 to 300. So that means between 300 to less than 600, your credit score is bad, right? So we have same all these cases, and we have same common message. So we need only one message and only one break instead of giving break for all cases. And then, for instance, if your score is less than 300, for instance, 250 or 299 or 280, so in that case, all of these cases until 0, your score rank will be between 5 to 0. So then your credit score is very bad in this case. Otherwise your credit score will be invalid. That means we need to retry again, right? This is the program. I have completed program. I have this complete program in C#. So let us run this program again. So understand, if I do credit score 800, so then it will say my rank is 600. We don't need to print rank. Just I'm printing rank over here to see my credit score is an excellent. So if I have say Mr. 780, then I have still excellent, right? So if I have 660, okay, then rank is 13 and it is going here, my credit score is good. So if I give my credit score 280, right? Okay, so then my credit score is very bad, right? 280 will fall in this category. Now you understand?
Yes.
Okay, the main difference is that I have this program in C#. This is in C#, and this is in C++. Okay, and this should be in Java. This is also C#. I have also this Java. So this one is Java. So in Java, same thing. Okay, that all I have this program in all 3 languages. Okay, so you can copy this program from my account to your account, and then you can. So sometimes, are you following me on Replit? If you follow me on Replit, maybe there is a way to follow, right? If you follow me on Replit, then whenever I add a new program, maybe you will get a notification. Okay. So one major difference that we discussed, right, between the switch case statement in C# and C++ and Java is that C# does not allow of missing break, but Java and C++ allow missing break statement. I discussed that, right? Do you remember that? So you can practice this program. You may some comment out some break statement, okay, and if you run this program and see what is going to happen. For instance, if your credit score, if you enter your credit score 780, for instance, for this program. So it is taking time for first time run. Okay, I enter 780. Okay, so can anyone please tell me what will happen before I run my program? What will be my output?
It'll print excellent and good.
Yes, thank you so much. Because it will fall in 2 categories, right? So it will be 15 one, and then also it will go this category like good, right? Okay, so because there is no break, since there is no break over here, still it will come in this category. 50 will fall in 15 and then 14, because whenever your score is 780, that means your rank is 15, right? 15 is, it will fall also 14, because this is the due break, because it is greater than 14 also. So but this is restricted in C#. So in C#, I try to do this, it will give me an error message. You see the error message? What does this say? So you see, how do we select? So line number, it says line number 14. It says 14, 14. That means line number 14, and is column number 14. Okay, line number 14 over here. This is 14. Okay, and column number 14. So this one actually it is getting an error because here also in line number 1814, this 1814 over here, so we are missing a break. Okay, so if I give the break statement, then it is fine. Yeah, like 780, and then it will give me only one script. Okay, so this is the program I have written in all three languages. Okay, I like everybody please follow this program and practice this. Okay, and if you do not understand anything from this program, then please let me know. And if you understand it, then you should have a good starting point to do any kind of selection statement.
Is there a way to go to a different case with in C# because you can't use breaks or something without breaks?
Yeah, I had the same question.
Okay, because good question. Even I did not think that way in this discussion. So it's a good question. I need to do a Google search about that. Maybe there may have an alternative way. I did not think really. It's a good question. I need to look at, and you can also look at. And if you find something, please let me know. Okay. Okay. Another question is that my question before I forget. Okay. So why are we dividing by 50? Can anyone please tell me what is the benefit or advantage of divided by 50? So there is a way not to divide by 50. If we do not divide by 50, that I can do it. But what is the disadvantage or advantage of having these or not? Can you guess?
You're gonna have less outputs.
Yes, that's good. So if you do not this line number 9, so then what you need to do, you have to start with case 800, then 799, 799, 788, 787, up to 750. So then 50 cases we will have here. Okay, instead of 2, you need to write 50 cases. So even if you write 50 cases, that will take long time, right? And your program will be verbose, like lengthy, right? Do you understand of having this rank? You understand this, right? Why do we are having this rank? So it will concise our program. You could divide by any number, any other number. For instance, you could say divide by 25. Then you will have more cases over here. But what is my technique is that to use ZCD over here.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Wednesday? Thursday?
Can you hear me?
Can we make it 7 instead? Yeah.
What?
My music.
No.
36.
Yeah, please speak loudly. Are you talking with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is your problem? What did you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my programs are here, okay, in all 3 languages. So please practice this. Sorry?
Mm-hmm. That's what you were thinking?
So your voice is getting
It sounds
broken.
to me like
Okay,
he's on the telephone with somebody else and his voice is just coming through.
Oh, okay.
No. If anything, we'd have to do it at 5.
Okay, so I like everybody to practice this, okay?
Yeah.
And done for now.
Then I go upstairs and sing 560.
Okay, then in our last lecture, we also
Bro, someone
discussed.
needs to mute their mic, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah, so anybody over there, if you have a phone call or other conversation, please keep yourself muted. And otherwise, everybody can keep yourself. If your side is quiet and then not noisy, then you can keep yourself unmuted. Okay, so we have 45 more minutes. So let us discuss this. So anyone has any other question about the previous program? This one? Okay, so please practice it. Okay, and if you face any issue, then let me know. Okay, so in our last lecture, we were discussing repetition structure, right? We discussed that there are three mainly repetition control statement: while loop, do while, and for loop, right? Everything can be done using while, can be done using for. Okay, and then in while loop, we check a condition first. If the condition is true, then we execute the statement body. And if the condition is false, then we skip the statement body, right? And this is that I discussed in our last lecture. Okay, and I asked you everybody to practice this program. Okay, so maybe due to your test, you did not have time to practice this, but this is the time that everybody please practice this program. Okay, everybody must practice this program before you come to our next lecture. So here what we did, we initialize our counter value by 0, and we put x and y also count initialized by 0. These are integer variables. So we are using this counter variable. Okay, so we say when counter less than 5, so then when we are printing x, not only x, it's a plus x. That is the prefix notation of x. And we are printing over here postfix notation of x. Okay, so there is a minor difference between this prefix notation and postfix notation. We discussed that. In the prefix notation, it increments the operand by 1 first, and it uses the incremented value. And in the postfix notation, it uses the old value. Then after using the old value, it increments the operand by 1. So here, so I like everybody practice this program with using while loop, and you can also print this using do while and also for loop. So I like everybody to practice this program using while and for loop. And then this is the homework I'm giving you, okay, to practice. This is a tiny game, a very simple game. You can play with your friend or with a brother or sister, or any, if you have a little boy or girl, any of relative, you can with them. So for instance, if both of you will guess a number. So then you will check whether that your number is equal to your friend's or partner's number. If you can say that if your numbers are same, then you can say that you are like-minded, something like this. Okay. But in this program, codes are given over here, so you can use this, or there is another way to randomly generate a number. You can guess a number, and you can randomly generate a number to check whether your guess number is equal to the randomly generated number or not. Okay, so I will discuss later about this random generated method. So then do while, we discuss do while. What is the difference between a while and do while? In the do while, it's execute the statement at least one time. After execution of the statement, then it checks the condition. If the condition is true, then it repeats the loop. But if the condition is false, then meanwhile it already has executed one statement, right? The statement at one time. So the do while loop, what it does, it executes the statement at least one time. And remember that there is a semicolon after while in do while, but in while there is no semicolon. Okay, this is the format on while and do while loop. I like everybody to practice this program, especially in our last lecture we discussed a program how to reverse a number, right? We discussed this, how to reverse a number. So we got a number and then we take lastmost digit by taking modulus 10, and then we shrink the number by integer division by 10, with an integer division by 10, and we reverse like this way. Reverse equal to reverse time 10 plus last digit. So this is the way. Using do while it can be done easily. In other way it will be difficult. Using while and do while it can be do using while or for loop, but this is an efficient way to do it. Okay, and then for loop, we discussed for loop in our last lecture. Started for loop. For loop is the most widely used looping control statement. So in for loop, everything can be done by using while loop, can be done using for loop, and vice versa. In the for loop, we have three parts over here. First one in the for loop body. For loop, this is the for loop header. First one is initialization. Second one is the condition. And third part is increment or decrement. So the initialization, it happens only first time, one time. Okay, and the condition check and increment and decrement can happen, it happens every time, in every iteration. So this initialization can be put before the for loop, and this condition check can be put within for loop, and also increment can be put within the body, within for loop. So this way, everything we can convert this using like a while loop fashion. Okay, so these are the looping structure or block diagram of while and do while and for loop that we discussed. So here the for loop statement is like this, and while loop is like this. So for loop, as I told you, for loop is widely used, but we started with while loop because in while loop it is in natural language we frequently use while this term. This is why we started. Maybe we started with while, better for basic understanding. Then for loop is widely used. So anyone has any questions so far? Are you good? Can you hear me from other side?
Yes, no questions.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, please give sometime give me sound, or I will be sleepy. You may be sleepy. Okay. Okay, so this is the program. This is the simple program. The previous while program is converted using for, the same thing. Okay, and especially I like you to practice this part, this one, coming. One more, this program. I like everybody to understand this program. You are hopefully you will get a test question like this. Okay, test. This program previously we discussed this in a while, and same thing in for loop. We see the for loop here. This is empty. Okay, this part empty means the initialization is done before for. And this is the condition check. Condition check is usually given over here, but if you give condition check within the body, you need to use the extra code like break, if this then break. Okay, and then this part is kept empty, that because this was the increment or decrement part. So this statement could be here. So if we put this statement alone over here, then we do not need to put the ending semicolon. Okay, but if we put over here, then we need to put this ending semicolon. So please practice this program. Okay, this program is given here. Just copy and paste this code and just convert this print line to Java or C# or C++. And you'll see output should be same in all three languages. Anyone has any question here about this program? I like everybody, all of my students understand this. Okay, so this is the output, but you need to understand output because in your test, you may get a different symbol over here. Instead of plus plus, you may say minus minus. Okay, instead of over here plus plus x, you may have x minus minus x plus plus something. So if you understand what is going on, so how this operator work, then it will be easy for you to solve this problem. But there is nothing to memorize. Okay, this code, do not memorize this code, please. Okay, so this is another homework I'm giving you, but in our next lecture I will discuss this also. So this program, it says write a program in which you enable your user to enter a number for which they want to see the multiplication table. So if you enter a number, for instance 10, it will give you a multiplication table of 10 up to 12. For instance, 10 times 1 equal to 10, 10 times 2 equal to 20, 10 times 3 equal to 30, 10 times 4 equal to 40, and so on, like this. So the code, pretty simple. The code is given, pseudocode is given over here, and the code snippet, we say code snippet, that is not a complete code. Okay, we have to put this in the main method or in the method. Then run this program to convert this read and this print to appropriate language. Then run this and try to understand this. Okay. So anyone has any question? Okay. So we have few more slides. Let us try if we can finish this slide, and then in our next lecture we will also review. Okay, so infinite loop. Okay, infinite loop, that means if it goes a long loop. Okay, infinite actually, I discussed that, not literally infinite, that infinite, for instance, our computer has a limitation, memory limitation, right? For instance, very large number that is also finite can be considered as an infinite in your program. Okay, so an infinite condition is a looping condition is that, for instance, when you do not have a control, when you do not have any control on your program, then when you will stop. If you do not have that control, then we say if it goes out of our control, then we say it goes infinite loop. So usually an infinite loop, a program with infinite loop is supposed to be running forever, but in this life it will not running forever. If it is running about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we will be bored, right? And then we will restart our computer. So to make a loop an infinite loop, so we can make a while loop infinite. So if we put any condition that will never make this condition satisfied, true. If our program never reaches to this condition, then program will be an infinite loop program. So for instance, here you say counter is initialized 1, right? And say it's a while counter less or equal to 15, 25. Then do this print count, okay? And then what we are doing over here, so we are say counter equal to counter minus 1. So what is the problem over here? Anyone, can anyone please tell us what is the problem over here? Possible program is that here always counter is decreasing, right? So it will never reach to 25 or greater than 25. So it will fall an infinite loop and program will be running, and sometime after a few minutes or few hours, your computer memory will be consumed, and then it will stop or hang up. So what was the solution to solve this problem? There are many solutions maybe to solve this problem, but the easiest solution is that we need to use plus sign over here to increment, either plus or plus sign over here at least. Okay, so we need to be careful how we are doing increment or decrement and how are checking this condition. So there should have a consistent relation between this part and this part. Actually, it should have a semicolon instead of colon. So here, if we check less or equal to, then it must increase. Okay, if it decreases over here, so it never will exceed this condition. It never will make this condition false. So nested loop. Okay, so loop, whenever we have a looping statement, we understand the basic looping statement, right? So one loop can be put inside another loop. A loop statement can be put inside another loop statement, or a while or a selection statement can be put inside another selection statement. So this is why we say looping statements. Whenever one loop statement contains another loop statements, that we say nested loop. In nested loop, there are inner loops and outer loops. For instance, here. So this is called inner loop and this is called outer loop. So likewise, inner loop, it starts later but it ends fast. Okay, the outer loop, it starts fast but it ends later. So you can remember this way, that whenever we put a box inside another box, for instance, when we get a delivery of something from Amazon or somewhere, right? When we get a delivery of a packet or something from Amazon, we see that our main item is put in a box. That box is put in another smaller box and a medium box. That box also is put in another large bag. So how the box are wrapped? So the inner box is wrapped fast, right? And then after that, the inside box, the middle box is wrapped up, and then finally we wrapped up the outside box. So if you remember this concept, then we will see that the inner box, you need to wrap up it fast. And after that, this is the end of this inner, and then it will print. This print line, you will make a new line. So like this kind of program, if you start print, then it will print in number of stars in triangular way. Anyone has any question? So this is the pseudocode, and this is the actual program code. So you need to just change print and print line to an appropriate language. Okay. So inner loop and outer loop can be nested loop, can be any way. You can put a while loop within another while loop, and then you can put a for loop within a while loop, or you can put a while loop within a for loop, and like this way. So yeah, please practice this program also. And maybe if you practice this program, then sometime you can think about how to put this type of drawing in reverse order or a different order. Anyone has any question? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, please always give some response, okay? So only few people are giving response frequently. I like you to be one of them, okay? Okay. So this one, here is another example that, so in your test, you also may be given like a code, like code snippet like this, and you will be asked, for instance, how many times the things I am here will be printed, for instance here. So in order to understand this program, the only way is to practice programming, okay? And write your own code, write your code, not copy and paste code. So if you copy and paste code and run the program, probably you will not understand how it is going on. But if you if you type in this code line by line and try to understand what is happening in this line and what is the effect of this line, what is the next line is needed, then it's easy for you to understand. And if you practice some programs, then it will be easy for you to practice. Okay. So far maybe I gave you about 22 programs to practice. So I believe if you practice this program, then it will be a good start for you. And the last thing, this should be last thing. Yes. Okay, last thing is the use of break and continue. Okay, break and continue are always used for within loop. It are used to use additional control of a loop. So break means stop the loop, go outside to stop the loop, go outside the loop, okay? And continue means continue, keep going, you keep going of the loop, okay? So if you use break, you cannot use continue, and if you use continue, you cannot say break. These two are opposite to each other, okay? So break stops the loop, and continue, what it does, it skips the current iteration and it goes to the next iteration. So some people, they confuse to use continue. Continue means that whatever you try to say, I'm not accepting that. Sometimes I ask you to tell me something else, right? So in English we say keep going, keep going, keep going, right? So that is continue. Okay, it skips the current iteration, not actually, it does not skip all iterations. It skips only the current iteration. Okay, so I like you to practice some programs like with break and continue. So what here, so you see that there is a break. So if you say if sum initially started with 0, and then you say sum greater or equal to 100, then break means it will go outside this while loop. Okay, so then which loop it will work in? The loop it exists within. So this break exists within the while loop, right? So it will go outside this while loop. Okay, and continue is the opposite of break. Break, it goes outside of the loop, but it continues, it goes to the next iteration. Okay, this is a good program code to practice about understand continue. So if your number, for instance, initially is 0, and say while number is less than 10, number equal to number plus 1. So then if number equal 5 or number equal to 6, then continue. That means you are not taking either 5 or you are not taking both 5 and 6. So if you get 5 or 6, then you are skipping. Okay, so that means You are adding up the number, but except 5 and 6. I want to say everybody's voice over here, or at least some people voice over here, whether you understand this or not. Yeah, please. Someone please tell us if you understand this or not.
I understand.
Thank you so much. Let me see. What is your name, please?
Laken?
Which one? And the third one? This one?
No, my name's Laken.
Are you here?
No. L-A-I-K-E-N.
L. So it should be L. Okay, let me understand that. Name should be, this name should be in ascending order, right?
You need to click more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's good. If you maybe if you speak, then you're okay. That's good. You're getting bold. Okay, who else are speaking?
Me.
I was earlier.
Okay, Ethan?
Yeah.
Ethan? Okay. Okay.
I was earlier, but not anymore.
Okay, I wish I could give some like extra credit to people who participate or join in class interactively and regularly. Okay. But it will definitely will be benefited if you join in lecture regularly, and if you practice, then you will be good by the end of this semester. Okay, so please practice this, okay, and see what happens if we put break over here. So instead of continue, if we put break over here, so what will happen? Can anyone please tell me what will happen if we put break instead of continue here?
If the number gets to 5 or 6, it'll stop the program.
Yeah. So yes. So it will not stop the program. Actually, it will stop the loop. Okay. This is not a complete program. This is a code snippet. Okay. So then after this or before this, there maybe have other codes. We don't know yet that. So but it will stop this while loop. Okay. So here, if it gets 5, since the number are increasing one by one, right? So as soon as it gets 5, so then it will, if you put break, then it will go out of the loop. So it will never reach to 6. You understand? It will never reach to 6 because whenever it gets 5, then if you put break over here, so then the loop, it will go outside, right? So there is no way that it will reach to 6.
So what's the difference between that and a break if you put a break there?
Yeah, this is why I'm asking. This is why I'm discussing. Okay, if you put slide. So if you say continue, so do not add and 5 and 6 to the sum, and this one, right? So I'm adding this extra slide. Okay, so if you put break, so let us see what will happen if it is 5 or 6. So then it at this point it will go outside, right? So then it will, what it will do, it will add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. It will go before, so it will say some operation is later than this 5, right? So whenever our number is 5, so then it will break. Then before it breaks, what we have in our sum? We have our sum is 1. It actually started from 0, but 0 is not counted. 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So this will be our output. Do you understand? So that this one will be in different order.
So then if you had a continue instead, it would just skip number 6, but it would keep going.
Let me. I'm trying to. Okay, that is good. I'm trying to put in a. So if you put break, like for instance, then as soon as it reaches to 5, then it will break. Then it will go outside of loop. So then 5 will not be added, right? So then what will be added? Added will be 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to 4. The sum will be up to 4.
Okay, and then if you had continue, it would do all of those and then skip 5 and 6, but then do 7, 8, 9.
Yes, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you get, so for instance, this one continue, right? So it will not add 5 and 6, but it will add other than 5 and 6. So here our loop is going from 0 to less than 10. That means, but less than 10, but it is adding up over here. So 0 to 10 actually it will go 1 to 10. So if you put continue over here, it will just keep 5 and 6. So for instance, we can say 5, then 5 and 7 or something. So then if you say 5 and say for instance 8. So then do not add 5 and 8. It will do other things. It will add up 6, it will add up 7. Okay. You understand this?
Yeah.
I understand. Okay, so the good thing is that please practice this one, okay? When you practice, please make some changes in the number and then see what is going inside. Okay. So sorry. Okay, we have 3 more slides, so then we have a few more minutes. Then let us go to this slide. So this is the last problem. I like you to practice, but I will practice for you, okay? If you do not do it, okay? But I like everybody, so that like advanced student to try to go ahead of me, okay? And one thing that in my YouTube channel, I have a whole lecture from previous semesters. If you want to go ahead of me, you can go, right? You can watch my previous semester's video. And at least you practice this. You make some time. If you even spend 5 minutes to try this, okay, that will be beneficial for you. Okay, so what is this problem? So write a pseudocode, or we will write also a program, okay, the program for a calculator program that enables the user to select an operation, either add or subtract or multiply or divide or quit, okay, and then enter a series of numbers where that operation is applied. The program would continue. The program would continue asking for numbers until the users entered 0. To which point it asks another operation. Okay. So that means when you this line, try to understand this line. The program would continue asking for number until you put 0. So here, if you put 0, then your program will terminate, right? So here 0 is called the sentinel value. The value that we discuss in sentinel value that terminates a loop, that is called sentinel value. Okay. So our program pseudocode is given over here. So you can use switch statement, you can use if else statement, whatever you like, you can do. So there are multiple ways to do this, but we have our pseudocode over here. So I like everybody to practice this program from this pseudocode. Okay. So this pseudocode, and then try to convert this pseudocode into a program code. Okay. And then what is the last one? This should be last one. Okay. Write a program that asks the user to input a number. The program should contain a while loop that runs if the user input any value other than 0. So 0, if we put any value other than 0, then loop will continue. Okay. The loop body should accumulate the sum of the all numbers that the user inputs. Okay. During each iteration, output the sum of the numbers in input so far. When the user input 0, the loop stops. So 0 is the sentinel value over here. After the loop has stopped, output the total of the all numbers input and the average. So that means that you have to do an extra thing. You have to find the average. If the loop never run, it could reach to the user. Okay. Okay. So this is the pseudocode is given. So the sentinel value is 0. So while not equal to 0. That means you will continue the loop until your value, the number value you are entering over here, right? So you can put any value except 0 to continue the loop. If you put 0, then it will terminate the loop. Okay. So if you put 5 also, okay, so what will happen? It will print the sum of 1 to 5. You understand here? For instance, if you enter 5, then it will continue the loop 5 times, and then it will sum up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and then it will also find the average. Okay, so your number will be 5, and the sum will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and then 55. That is right, and then it will make 55 divided by 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, 15, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Then 5 plus 9, 15, right? 3, 3, 6, 15. Okay, so then sum will be 15 divided by count is count equal to integer number, count equal to 5. So 15 divided by 5, it will get 3. Your average will be 3 and sum will be 15. You understand this?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And then I like you to practice this program, and this will be the last programs. And so far I give you 20 programs, okay? And I estimate that so far I gave you 20 programs, 25 maybe, 25 programs. And I believe if you practice these 25 programs, you should be good. But I'm giving again reminder that so in the next few weeks actually, so when we go after 2 weeks, when we go to this module methods, you will understand the actual flavor of computer programs. You will see that you will be able to write methods, function. That means you can concise your code, you can reuse your code. Okay, you can define your own code. So whatever we are learning so far, the basic program structure, in the next 2 weeks you will understand the basic data structure and searching and sorting operation. After that you will understand the module, and this will be a good point to start programming. But if you do not practice the programming, the programs that I'm asking you to practice at home, you will not be able to understand those. So this will be a good time to understand in this. And then, so you notice that So in the test, whoever practiced this class like programs, your test are supposed to be pretty simple, right? So how was the test? Sorry, I didn't ask this question. How was the test?
It was good.
Good. I
About
think
how
that is
long
good.
until we get our grades back?
I believe if okay, so if you practice, then it is good to you. Okay, if you practice the programs that I asked you to practice, then your tests are supposed to be good. But if you did not practice, if anyone did not practice, then it would be hard for him or her.
Is there like an estimate on when it'll be graded, or is that still up in the air?
2 weeks, next week, by next week.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So we have about more than 1100 1321 students. So it will take some time, right, to grade all of these. So this week we will be getting. I'm not getting 1321. Actually, I'm getting 1322. Other professors are getting 1321, and we have our graders, GTA, graduate student. They are grading. Yeah, grading will be fair, and then it should be relaxed grading. And then by next week you will see your grade. Okay, so we have few more minutes, but if anyone has any question, then we can discuss that. Has anyone any question? Again, so far I'm giving you 25 programs to practice. Okay, please, everybody, please practice this program. Okay. Okay, one more thing is that, okay, so if you go to our last thing, that if you go to our first year experience program, okay, so if you go to our, okay, the FYE website and the resource page, if you go to the resource page and all the way end, you see that this is my slide. Actually, I developed this, the key differences between C++, C# and Java. Okay, so I like everybody to download this. Okay, and if possible, take a printout of this. Okay, and time to time, please revisit this. So there are 80% things are common among these languages. Okay, there are some differences we discussed. Like so far, we encountered these 6 key differences. So okay, so the first differences is on main method structure between C++, Java, and C#. We know that by this time everybody should know that, and the output statement is different. Everybody knows it, and the input statement is different. That is the output, and this is the input. Okay, and there's some keywords like bool and boolean. This is the difference. Okay, and then how constructor is constant is declared is different. And the main difference, the last difference, we know that about the switch case statement different, right? The difference in C# and Java and C++. So I like everybody, please download this, and we will encounter other differences when we discuss function or method chapter, class, object, and array declaration. Okay, but these are the key differences. Okay, if you understand these differences, then it will be easy for you to convert the program written in one language to another language. So everybody, please download this slide. Okay, and if possible, then print out and sometime visit this. Okay, so especially like this code. Still, I sometimes come here and to see the code over here. Sometimes, if I forget the format, how to scan in Java, how to scan in C#. Especially this difference in C++. If scanning is one single variable with a single word or letter without any space, that is C. If you need space, then get live. And C# and Java are different. Okay, one other thing is that, so if you go to our first year experience page, all the way you see that FYE feedback. So if you please give me some feedback. So select third CSE 1321, and you can write your name or you can make it optional. And I like you to give some feedback. Okay, if you like my teaching, and then please give me some feedback how to make this course more interactive and more interesting and more effective. Okay, so please give us some feedback. Okay, and your positive good feedback definitely will encourage me. But if I have something like bad, or if you have a better suggestion, then I will try to follow your opinion. Okay, your model. So anyone has any question? Hello. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
I don't have any questions.
Okay.
I don't have any questions either.
Okay, thank you. But I like you to give a feedback. Okay, here you can do that, please. Can you do it, please, by this week?
All right, by this week. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, and you have a good evening. And if you drive, then drive safely. Okay.